Hello and welcome to Wednesday, the day of Wednesdays. It's like 5:40 right now, and it is pouring rain. We're right next to the window. Actually, yeah, you can see that we're right here, and I just had to grab the camera because literally, like not even a minute ago, it was just like pounding against my window with the wind just like blowing so hard and everything. I just felt like I needed to like. Oh man, it's absolutely pouring. I was not expecting this weather. Um, yeah, today's today's been fun. Um, so there's a lot of stuff happening today that's gonna be happening in the next couple hours. One of the big things that I've been doing is exercising. So doing that, played Pokemon. Um, After that, one of the major things that actually I will probably talk about that Monday, because again, whole Pokemon shutdown thing. There's a little event thing going on tonight, and has been going on for the past little week. It's gonna end on Monday, so we're gonna talk about that then. But one of the fun things that has been going on is that I think I've talked about it, but I'm in a book club, and we're reading a book, and we're discussing it today. And that book would be The Great Gatsby. Book club meeting is at 8:30, so I've got 3 hours to finish this. But I've on the last chapter, and it's a very quick read, so it should be done in like a couple of minutes. But yeah, it looks like the weather has calmed down despite that insane, what feels like a torrential pour, almost. And you know, we're we're finally closing things out. For actually, well, it might be picking up soon, but like I said, maybe you heard some of the rainfall. Uh, Regardless, I'll finish this book, and we'll meet up in just a bit after I have finished with the book club. So, catch you guys then. Okay, book club was fun. We talked about this book, The Great Gatsby, and we actually talked about the cover quite a bit because it's probably the most iconic book cover of all time, or at least pretty high up there. Because one of the people in the book club got a book that had, the movie characters from the 2013 movie, so DiCaprio was front and center, which is ridiculous. We also had an English major in the call who was like so upset about that. And one of the fun things is that these are just like women in the eyes, which is like super neat and odd. Um, but yeah, that's something I learned. Apparently, this book has a super iconic opening line. In my younger years and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. When you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages you've had. Apparently, that's a very iconic line, as well as the final line being uh, Gatsby believes in the green light, the organistic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther, and one fine morning, so we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Very, very powerful book. It's surprisingly short. This copy is only 180 pages, and each chapter is about 20 of those pages. Very quick read, very easy read. I finished this today. Like I started around 2, and I finished whenever that last clip was. So maybe like 4:06 or something, and that was with some breaks in between. So very quick, enjoyable read. Um, yeah, it was interesting going back to a book that you read in, like, high school, college, and seeing, oh, I understand this now. It's like it's a very kind of like classic tale about the man who has it all but like wants love, and even though he can't get what he wants, and then tragic downfall, right? I feel like I'm over, like, I don't know. It didn't really click too much with me, but what are you gonna do? It's a very, like, I understand why it's American classic. It's a very powerful novel. I didn't realize that, like, living in New York, this takes place, like 20, 30 minutes away from me. Like, I could drive to where this allegedly takes place. And, it's just pretty neat. It's also, like, one of my buddies pointed out that, it takes place, like, this was published in 1925. It takes place in 1922. So right at the height of the, Roaring '20s. And then he's like, yeah, like 4 or 5 years later, Great Depression hits. Fun stuff. It's a really cool book to look back on. It's just like, oh yeah, people living up the high life, or what we assume to be the high life. Everybody's just a rich person, and while there are some points that, like, what is it, the, like, industrial ash, or industrial something like that, industrial ash filled areas, and then the iconic eyes, a lot of that imagery, like, it's powerful, but it doesn't really do much for me. I feel like this book does kind of stand the test of time, but it just doesn't click as well as it used to for for me. I do want to watch the movie. I said I was going to watch it probably tomorrow because it's kind of late now. So take a look at that tomorrow, and then maybe we'll talk about it here. With that said, I'm probably just going to call it here for today. Go read this book if you haven't. We're going to probably work on some other American classics in the near future, but that's what we're going to call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then,